Hey guys, what's up? I'm here with a review. This is a review of one I've been waiting to see for a while. I'm talking about the 2016 horror comedy produced by Elijah Wood. Now, for those of you who don't know, Elijah Wood is known for portraying Frodo Baggins in the Lord of the Rings movies. Thing is, I don't care about the Lord of the Rings movies. What I do care about is that he loves bad movies. He said on multiple occasions that one of his favorite movies is the shot-on-video film Truth or Dare. Elijah Wood knows fun bad movies. He enjoys bad movies, just like a lot of us in the horror and exploitation community do. And he put money towards this project. I'm talking about the movie The Greasy Strangler. Now, I have no idea what this movie's about. I've read the plot description on IMDb before, but the thing is, it's kind of hard to remember. All I really remember about the plot is father and son. They either work at or run like a roller disco or something like that. Uh, and they run a business together, and the son, his girlfriend, ends up falling in love with his father, and then shit starts to go down the drain as it goes farther down the rabbit hole. If you have not seen the trailer for this film, by watching the trailer, you can either tell whether or not you would absolutely love to see this movie or you would absolutely hate it. And I saw the trailer, and all I could think to myself was, God damn, that is a movie that I need to see and possibly review. So here I am, covering it. But guys, the only way I'm going to find out if this movie is any good is if I watch it. So without further ado, I'm going to go and watch the fucking Greasy Strangler. The Greasy Strangler. It is hard to mess up a movie with that good of a title, but I've seen this kind of thing done before with great titles. So, let's just do this shit. Okay, guys, I honestly don't know what to say about this one. Uh, it is a puzzling little feature. Um, Basically, the movie is about a father and son duo, the father being Ronnie, the son being Braden, who give disco-themed tours to tourists. And during the tour, the son falls in love with one of the female tourists, and from there, things get greasy. So, to start off, the movie looks very gross and grungy and urban, and like very Urban Decay-esque, much kind of like in Gummo, but a bit less realistic, a bit more John Waters, Lloyd Kaufman exploitation kind of esque, gross out style of just the look itself. Everything from a technical standpoint in this film, lighting, the camera work, the sound mix, all that stuff is 100% solid. It is not. I mean, this was a pretty well made movie. For what it is. The next thing I should say is the acting actually in this movie isn't too terrible, and the writing isn't too terrible either, even though the trailers made this movie out to look absolutely horrific. It actually isn't too bad of a movie. The characters in the movie are very weird and gross, and some of them are strangely likable. Ronnie, who is the father, is kind of an interesting character, and the son, Braden, is interesting. And the Greasy Strangler himself is also very, very weird and interesting. The writing, like I said, is that kind of weird, badly written, like, it's badly written, but at the same time, I can't say it's not, like, good. Like, the writing isn't actually good, because it's still interesting and entertaining the way a lot of the scenes are written, the way a lot of the dialogue is written as well. It's a weird, gross little movie, full of sight gags and gross out scenes, full of weird dialogue and characters. Also, the effects in the film really aren't half bad. there are scenes in this movie that had me legitimately laughing, cringing, and scratching my head in confusion all at the same time. I kind of forgotten at this point whether or not I was laughing at the scenes because out of disgust or because the scene was funny. There are multiple scenes in this film where it doesn't try to be gross, but because of the film's overall tone and how some of the characters look and act and some of their dialogue, the scenes, just a scene of two characters, Brayden and Janet, the girl he falls in love with, there's a scene where they're just sitting at dinner, and it's not really particularly gross scene, but some of the dialogue, a combination of the dialogue, the look of the character, the film's overall tone, it makes this very normal scene gross. It's kind of like the film from Nicholas Winding Refn, The Neon Demon, how there are scenes in the film that aren't meant to be creepy, but they come off as absolutely just unnerving as hell. I gotta say, this is probably one of the best gross out kind of exploitation films I've seen in a very long time. We don't get many John Waters kind of Harmony Korine, Lloyd Kaufman-esque gross out exploitation films anymore. I mean, we do get like the tributes to exploitation films, and Troma is still around there, still making stuff, and Lloyd Kaufman is out there still directing, but we aren't getting anything that I would say are destined to become cult classics, especially amongst really weird, gross movies. There has not been a single movie this year that has come out that I would say is weird and gross, and will become a trash exploitation film, kind of trash film classic. This is the first one, not just this year, but of the past few years, that I could say that about. On the gore meter from 1 to 10, 1 being something like Nosferatu and 10 being something like Peter Jackson's Brain Dead, the Greasy Strangler sits at about a 3. It really isn't that gory, which is kind of disappointing to me. I was expecting something very, very gory and gross and silly. It's still gross and silly, and there are a couple scenes that are a bit gory, but other than that, other than a few scenes, it's never really too gory. It's mostly greasy, and with a title like The Greasy Strangler, this is the greasiest movie I've ever seen. Every scene feels slimy and gross and greasy. This film is easily the 4th best horror film of the year so far, sitting in 4th place behind Green Room at 3rd, The Neon Demon at 2nd, and The Witch at 1st place. So far this year, we've gotten some pretty good stuff, and this is probably the 4th best horror film I've seen this year. If you're a fan of John Waters stuff, if you're a fan of gross exploitation films, if you're a fan of weird movies in general, I would honestly recommend you check this one out. It is streaming on YouTube for $4. You can watch this movie right now for $4, and I would say it's more than worth it. I really, really loved this movie. I can't give it a full 10 because the lack of gore in the film really bummed me out and disappointed me. So I'm going to go ahead and give this one a solid 4 out of 5. Anyway, guys, this is Biscuit Boo Horror Reviews, signing off. Peace.